Well, Chris Pickett from Cycle Talk here. We're on location in Nha Trang in South Vietnam. Now, I'm with Jason Thatcher of Vietnam Motorbike Tours, and we're over quite a big tour. We're doing an 8-day tour, and we end up at Da Nang, which is right sort of on the border between north and south of the island, of Vietnam. But, Jason, tell us a little bit about yourself and about the company, Vietnam Motorbike Tours. How did it sort of get going?
I did a solo ride through the country about 7 years ago, and I was just blown away by the beauty. And I'd met some Vietnamese and become quite good friends with, and decided to start a small business, and it's kind of grown from there. Okay,
so tell us a little bit about the motorcycles. What can people who come on the tour, what can they expect to get?
The motorcycles are a Lifeline motorcycle. They're a Chinese cruiser-style bike. They're only a small CC bike, but as you can see, they're big enough for a Westerner ride in comfort. Vietnam has quite strong CC regulations. Basically, you can't ride anything over 175cc. And also, international travel insurance will often only cover you for up to 200cc. So these bikes fall within the guidelines, and also too, the road speeds are relatively slow. You're only sort of averaging 50 to 60 kilometres an hour, even in the countryside.
As you can see from some of the bikes, they're sort of like a cruiser style, single cylinder machine, but they've got a normal gearbox and so on, and they're quite comfortable to ride. It's our first day on the tour of riding itself, and everyone's quite okay with the amount of power they've got and how they handle the roads. Now, the road surfaces we've been on so far are actually pretty good. So, do we expect the same sort of thing up through the Central Highlands?
Yeah, the roads right through the Central Highlands are great, and they're windy all the way. So there's no straight, boring highways. We keep off all the main highways. We endeavour to get people into the real Vietnam. So there's lots of small country back roads, beautiful scenery, lots of remote villages. And in fact, quite often the areas that we travel through, they don't see Westerners apart from our tours going through.
So, Nha Trang itself, someone told me that it's like the Gold Coast of Vietnam. That's right?
Yeah, it's very popular with the Vietnamese themselves, and it certainly is like the Gold Coast. And great place. And Vietnam's quite amazing because you've got the sea up one side and you've got the mountain range on the other side. And our trip, as you know, we're by the sea here at the moment, but we'll be heading into the Central Highlands tomorrow.
Okay, we're still on our Cycle Talk tour of Vietnam. For this day, we're travelling from Da Lat to Lake Lac, and Da Lat is known as the City of Love. It's where it's famous for honeymooners in Vietnam going to. Very pretty city, a lot of French architecture, really cool place. It's 1,500 metres above sea level, so it's not very warm as such. We're still in the Central Highlands here, and we're on at Lake Lac is where it's famous for people riding elephants. So pretty cool place. It's apparently pretty small. Now what we've done here, we're in this little village. It's the main way of making their money is through coffee, and we've just had a taste of coffee, and it's called weasel coffee. And the weasels eat the coffee beans, poo the beans out, and then they're washed and so on, and away we go. So you brew it in this little sort of gizmo and put a bit of condensed type milk in it, and away you go. It's quite different actually, but it tastes pretty cool. So the roads are narrow, traffic's a lot less. It's sort of nice weather. So we're looking forward to the rest of the day. This machine, it's a French machine built in 1929 and still in use now, making silk patterns. And you see that it's got a script that feeds through the machine, which tells the machine what pattern to make. It's the same as you'd find on an old pianola, where the piano plays its own song depending on what script goes through it. And you wonder just how many times this machine has been rebuilt or modified to keep going. And you have a look down here, the silk actually feels quite rough, but it's then boiled in chemicals and then dyed, and it's quite soft after that.